We promised part 2 of our time in Zion, which included yet another iconic hike, the Narrows. We're glad we had a chance to do this one, and although we didn't hike all of it, we did get to hike over 9 miles. Let's just say it was enough for both of us to fall into the cold water.
So because we're doing the Narrows, we've got to get our neoprene boots and waders on.
Oh, I see now it has the rubber gasket.
While Ken and I hiked this one alone, we also found a really cool hike outside of Zion in Hurricane, Utah. This one allowed dogs, and so we took Meka, and of course, we got to enjoy it with our friends Joe and Dawn. If this is your first time joining us, we're the RoadSMITHS. Let us take you to the Narrows and more.
Wowza.
I forgot my sunglasses. Well, today's the day and we are headed to the Narrows. If you guys have ever done this, leave a comment and let us know what your experience is. I'm excited. Let's go.
Because we're doing the Narrows, we've got to get our neoprene boots and waders on. And we're at a place right here in Springdale that actually rents those. Sorry for the glare on the back there. So let's go see if they can size this fat body here.
So, no socks. Oh, I see now it has the rubber gasket. Yeah.
Hi, I'm vlog, first day, let's
Yeah.
go. Oh, thank you.
Oh, yeah, these are nice food. I hope I don't need the next size. Seal it up. Seal it up tight.
Nice outfit.
You like it?
Yeah.
I'm thinking about seeing if I can purchase it.
I don't know. Either going to fight fire or you are going fishing.
Yeah. Fishing would be fun.
We're going to try. We're hoping that we can park inside the park, but it's 10:51 and I'm kind of thinking we may not be so lucky, but we'll give it a try. The Narrows hike follows the Virgin River Canyon with towering cliffs on both sides, and it's in mostly ankle to waist deep water. It's filled with submerged rocks and boulders all along the way. Since we got started much later than we wanted, surprise, surprise, visitor parking was full, so we had to exit the park and find parking along the street in Springdale. That was a cost of $25 a day. However, if you rent your equipment from Zion Adventures, we found out that the public parking right next to their building was only $20, saving $5 and a lot more steps than we wanted, especially after the hike.
Well, that's good to know since we're going in there.
The Narrows hike actually begins at the Riverside Walk, which is a 1.1 mile trail. This is especially interesting with neoprene socks and water boots on. We were hoping we didn't develop blisters even before we reached the water.
Well, we made it to the base of the Narrows, and as you can see, it's a lot more crowded today than it was a couple of days ago.
Way.
So this time we donned our Willy Wonka outfits. So I've already got water in my shoes, and that water is cold, cold, cold. Anyway, we're not sure how far we're going to go, but it's pretty incredible just right here from the base. So let's go up the river, as they say. So the good news is that it's not more than about 100 yards in, and you're already on a piece of dry land.
Yeah, but it doesn't last.
It gives you an idea to see how much water is intruted and how your equipment is going to behave. So far, I feel water.
Yeah, let me just mention, I mean, this is fun, but I just saw a woman with a newborn baby nursing it in the Narrows, doing the hike.
Maybe there were.
I gotta give her credit because there is no way I could do that.
Maybe it was a baptism.
Well, it'd be a squished baby, I'm afraid. If I did it, I'd probably fall.
All right, we're going back to this way now. Look at the canyon. And actually, the river's way down too. So I'm sure times when it's not way down, this will be challenging. Water's cold. I can even feel it through all this neoprene and vortex.
I learned that you're going to need to keep your toe up out here.
Watch every step. So who thought this was a good idea to make this a hike? That's one way to do it. King of the world.
I think we picked the worst part. I think if we'd picked there, it would have been a little easier.
Okay, we'll go back and do it again?
No.
So pro tip, even though we're not pros, because this is actually the first time we've ever done it, but what I found is that if you put your bracing stick downstream, you know, because the water wants to push you that way, it just gives you the most bracing and the most leverage. You know, unless you're picking through some stones and whatnot. But if you're in a pretty rapid area and you're trying to keep your footing, just put it downstream. Don't ask me how I know. Hans and Franz from SNL. All right, we got a man down. Or should I say woman down?
It has something to do with watching the water move.
Yeah. No, got it. Like I said earlier, I think, and I haven't been out in this section, but it seems like this area that we've come through, the rocks are a little bit slipperier. So here I go. So the rocks have not been slippery until that point for some reason. I don't know why, but that was about the slipperiest of all the rocks. Took me a little while to get across it. There was a couple round ones that I just could not get my feet across, so finally made it though. This is the part of the Narrows where I guess it gets its name from because it is extremely narrow. I'm going to try and cross this right here and see if the walls don't close in on us. Well, if you notice, my attire has changed because I fell in right here.
Right there. Well,
And
I'll
this-
tell you what happened, and no one's going to be surprised at the reason. Because he was talking to people. He wasn't focused on what he was doing.
I was given advice, and my advice was don't fall in the water, and I fell in the water. It's kind of slippery there, and that water is super cold. I tried to dry my shirt out here, but the sun, there was sun right where we were, and like literally 3 minutes later, the sun was gone. So I'm decided to wear it on the outside, so when we get to a sunny spot, maybe it'll dry, but man, it is cold right now. So we got to come back across the spot which I fell. So let's try this again. Okay, I successfully navigated that. But we have 2.5 miles back And I'm just looking for sun so I can get this shirt dried out because, like I said, it's freezing cold. When I fell, I felt my right leg, my right calf cramp a little bit. So now that muscle's sore. I know I sound like I'm, a Debbie Downer here, but and maybe we just pushed it, excuse me, a little bit too far.
You can't take any chances. You cannot look up.
Well, I think the thing is that it seems like the path is actually the worst because that's the wettest and slipperiest, but that's where everybody's walking. And I don't want to fall on that. I think that water's cold again.
Oh, it's cold in this one. You guys don't feel it? No.
Well,
I had those on yesterday.
I fell in now earlier, so.
Oh, no.
We're on the home stretch. Said we're on the home stretch. Not to jinx us, but Pam had one fall just on her bottom and got the backpack a little wet. Ken did a triple flip 2.5 gainer.
Okay, we survived. We didn't go all the way to the end. We didn't go to the point where it splits into 2 different canyons, and I wish we could have. Ken went swimming, and so once that happened and his suit filled up with water, it was kind of hard to continue much further. And that was fun in a new kind of way, not like anything that I've ever done before, and or that we've done before. But I'll be honest, by the time we had turned around and we're about probably 3/4 of the way back, it was kind of like, oh my gosh, where's the end? I'm ready to stop. and I never minded the deep water. The deep water was actually not bad at all because it was usually without any stones or boulders in the water. But man, that shallower water with all of the boulders in it, that was no joke. It was awesome.
Well, the colors here are just amazing when the sun starts setting. Could have used a little more sun on the hike, especially after I took a dunk, but got a little bit, kind of dried out a little bit. I got some rock climbers here. You got it, come on.
Yeah.
Let's go. No pressure, camera's on.
This hike was truly a blast. We went up canyon about 3.5 miles, and then the Riverside Walk added 1.1 miles each way, for a total of over 9 miles. The Narrows can be done either of 2 ways: bottom up, which starts at the last bus stop in the park, or top down, which starts at Chamberlain Ranch, where a wilderness permit and your own transportation are required. Top down hike one way is right at 16 miles, and honestly, I really can't imagine doing that one. We want to thank Joe and Dawn for taking care of Meka all day so that we could do this. As we've said before, RVers are some of the most helpful people we've ever met. After resting up for a couple of days, we headed to Babylon Arch Trail near Hurricane, located outside of Zion.
Well, good morning from Red Rocks. Everything's called Red Rocks here in Utah. What's going on? She's dropping a dookie. Oh my gosh. Oh Lord. Man, good thing she waited. She got out of the truck. All right, now we're back. Meka had a little diversion there, and we had to dispose of it in a very responsible way. So we are doing a hike this morning, and it's kind of a tale of 2 seasons because when we woke up, it was chilly up there. Now, where we are staying up at Range RV up in Apple Valley is it's probably 1,500 feet higher than where we are, so you've got to come down the mountain. But this is the Babylon Arch Trailhead, Sand Cove Trailhead. And as you can see, there is just a ton of red rock here. So a lot of, looks like sage and things like that. So let's, this is Utah right here. It's like a miniature version of Sleeping Bear Dunes in Michigan. Can't wait to see how much sand is in my boots. My feet are getting progressively heavier as I walk down the slope here. So we made it down to the Virgin River. Now this is the same river that cuts through the gorge that we came through to get here from Mesquite up through Arizona and then into Utah. So nice hike. I think we dropped about 300 or 400 feet maybe, I don't know, on elevation. So now we're gonna have to go back up 300 or 400 feet in elevation. Joe, you doing okay?
Oh yeah.
Like a trooper. Like a trooper.
That was good. Good hike.
Yeah, it's a nice hike down. Like I said, going up is going to be a little bit difficult because we got one back on elevation and also a lot of sand. So we'll have to navigate that. But yeah, definitely worthwhile hike.
The drive in and out of Babylon Arch is a long gravel road with some very deep sandy areas. We almost didn't make it out. Our time in Apple Valley and Zion National Park was over, and it was time to head toward Colorado to see our youngest, her husband, and baby Marlo. Along the way, we spent a couple of days at James K. Robbs State Park in Fruita, give Meka a much-needed bath, check out the Colorado National Monument, and experience winter just one last time. Thanks for watching, and if you haven't already, please subscribe and join our journey.